Williamsburg was the capital of Virginia before the Revolutionary War. Out of 13 American colonies, it had the largest population. It was also located near Jamestown and Yorktown. There are different people who lived here, colonists who immigrated and worked, slaves, and Native Americans. The governor who represented King George III also lived here in his mansion. Williamsburg was the center of political events, and many important people, like Thomas Jefferson, would often visit. Many conversations were reported back to the king. But there was also time for entertainment with things like this harpsichord.
The gardens were really pretty. Mommy and I loved the flowers. But my favorite part was the horses. I think they liked me too. People didn't have cars or scooters like we do, so they would use horses to get around.
When King George in England started taxing the American colonists, without them being fairly represented in the government decisions, they became very angry. They would have conversations and debates, some supporting the crown and some supporting independence. Once the governor fled Williamsburg, the community began practically supporting efforts for the Revolutionary War, and an army was formed.
These were dangerous decisions, but without them, we wouldn't have the country we have today.
We listened to a younger George Washington share about his life before England oppressed America.
My education ended when I was very young. And so there was a different necessity. I still had the obligation to my mother without the means to make good on that obligation. When I say obligation, what I mean is the sense of responsibility, duty, obligation, service in particular. My mother instilled in me three important virtues. Well, one important virtue with three parts. Responsibility to one's family first, one's country second, and one's king third. As a commanding officer, I learned the lesson that every single child abducted, every single murdered babe, every single family's home destroyed, every soldier who died at my command, every native ally who came to assist us and who lost their lives in the cause was my responsibility. Every death, every life was at my doorstep. And that is a hard lesson for a 22-year-old to learn. And serve their needs, even against my own desire or better judgment, sometimes, is my obligation. Do I have to? No, of course not. Must I? I must. How could I send someone else in my place?
Although his loyalty to the crown or king eventually changed, his convictions of duty did not. He later said,
"It is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly to implore His protection and favors."
These words should inspire us today.
All right, Levi, what's for dinner?
Hot dogs, apple, and chips.
Yay, fast dinner because we are on our way out from Williamsburg heading up to Fredericksburg. Shane, how was your day today? What was your favorite part of Williamsburg?
It was probably the cannon.
The cannon, okay. And how about you, Levi?
Mine was George Washington's boat.
My favorite part was doodling around and having a little bunch in the shade and having snacks, watching the horses go by.
Don't forget to like
And subscribe.